Welcome back, everybody. Here again for our second half of how we got started into buying more real estate. And if you haven't watched the first video, check that one out. That one was how we very first started getting into real estate. And so we'll just dive right in. So we had the nineplex originally, was our very first investment property. Forget our home, that doesn't count as an investment property. That's just a place where we need to live. I don't consider that an investment property. So this nineplex we picked up, and we were making about every month in profit about $750 a month, plus I had free rent, which is pretty awesome. And so I had the conversation with my wife. Do you think we should look for another one of these? This isn't as scary as I thought. Yes, we owe a lot of money, but everyone's paying for that now. We're just managing it. We don't have any money down out of our own pocket. We have a good rainy day fund set aside in our savings account still that we're not touching, but we're banking about $750 every single month on this office building that we're managing. And one day it'll be paid off, and yes, one day we will have all of the rents paying us instead of paying the bank and the owner back. But $750 a month was about what we were making in profits at that time before we had inflation and raised rents. We'll talk about that another time. So we said we should look for another piece of property. We found another one that was just probably a quarter mile down the road. Another old building. It's kind of our bread and butter. What we're looking at is things that need fixed up. Things that have been on the market for a while, and that's kind of how this one was. So we had this eightplex that we had our eye on. We checked it out, we looked at it, looked at all the numbers, looked at all the rents, wanted to see what it would be. I did mention with the owner if he would consider owner financing. He said he would, and then when I heard his terms, I thought, I think I can come up with something better on my own. And so we ended up pulling some of our money from our savings account, putting our 25% down, and then finance the rest. So we went to Bank of Idaho again, and they said, yep, Derek, your other one is making you, your income just went up by $750 more a month. And so they're seeing that this is paying for itself. They're seeing that, yeah, your income actually increased and your assets also increased as well on this first building. And so as we look towards this one, this is an eightplex. After I did the math, we were probably going to get close to $1,300 a month after insurance, taxes, and what we would be paying the bank. And so, so we went in on this one, and here's where the light bulb really clicked, and it took me a while. So this owner of this building says, right next door, I own this little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Would you want to buy that as well? I took a look at it from the outside and I said, no, I do not want that house. I just, politely said, I think I just want to stick with commercial real estate. I don't want to be a landlord for someone living there. And he says, okay, well, I'm selling it for $70,000 if you're interested. And so I thought, this is 2018. Houses, I did some comparisons. I looked around that neighborhood and saw other houses were going for about $90,000, $95,000, $100,000 if it was in really good shape. And I thought, 70 grand, that's actually not bad. So I ran the numbers. I called up a couple lenders on now residential. Now commercial lending versus residential lending is way different. I didn't know that. I thought I would have to come up with 25% of $70,000. And so when I shopped around, I heard this Mountain America Credit Union was giving out loans at 10% down. It could be a vacation home, could be an investment property, could just be a second home. And so 10% down, and I was shocked when I talked to the lady on the phone saying, so I only need 10% down, I only need $7,000, and then this house would be in my name, and I could start collecting rent from it. And she said, yeah, and you're actually approved for 2. I just jokingly said, oh, so if I found a cabin up in Island Park, I just need 10% down? And she said, yeah. Light bulb moment. I was like, huh, that's pretty interesting. I'll save that for the next video of how we got started there. But I went to the guy and said, okay, if I buy both of these, will you take this $70,000 price tag that you have, and will you take $50,000 for it? And he thought and hummed and hawed and said, yeah, I'll do 50 for it. I said, okay, sweet. So I only needed, I get my fives right. I only needed $5,000 down to get into this home, and I was already making money on this and on this. I already had a tenant in here who said he wanted to stay there for years. And I thought, well, let's not get too crazy. Let's do like a 2-year lease. And so he said, totally. And I asked him, what are you paying in rent? And he said, I think it was like $450, $500 a month. And I said, well, rent is going way up, my friend, to, I want to say, I said like 800 or something like that dollars. And he was like, oh my gosh, I can't afford that. And I said, but don't worry, I'll work with you. Rent's only going up $100 as long as you mow this strip of grass out here that I don't want to have to worry about every month. So he said, oh yeah, I'll do that. So that's not a problem at all. So I gave him a really good deal on rent, and he took really good care of his own lawn and pretty much everything in there. And he always mowed this little strip of grass. It was like maybe this wide, but it was probably, I don't know, 20 yards, something like that. I know some other lawn company would charge me so much, and plus the pain of having to go out there, taking a weed whacker and a mower and doing that, you know, twice a month would be a pain. So he took care of it. He was a great tenant. He ended up only staying about 1.5 years, and he moved. And so I had other people coming to us as the housing market started going up and up and up and up and up. I'd have realtors contact me or stop by my office and say, hey, I know you own this little home. I've got a buyer. I'll bet we could get you $100,000 for that home. I thought, nah, that's okay. It's fine. Another one would come by later on. I get you $120 for that home. So anyways, back in 2020, we say, you know what? Let's just sell it. And one realtor said, I could get you $150,000 for that home. I thought, if you can do that, great. I don't think it's worth that much, but go ahead and list it at that. Well, it sold for $160, and we made a good profit there. And I did end up selling this place because it was a huge pain in the butt. Yes, it was making $1,300 a month, but some of the tenants were just driving me crazy, and that's a whole nother story. But we were able to make a profit on this and roll that into another property. Something that I felt was going to make me more money in the long run and not be as big of a pain in the neck as this one was. I still own this office space that I'm in right now. We sold these two, but this one right here, I'm really glad I bought this office building because of this getting us to where we are today. If it wasn't for this, I would have never even looked at cabins up in Island Park. If you want to see more about how we got started there, be sure to subscribe, like, comment any other videos. Anything I might have left out that you have questions on, feel free to comment and ask for other videos. And you guys have a great day. Bye.